The reason we're doing Transmission is because we are one of the country's leading producers and supporters of contemporary circus. So Transmission is about 5 companies and artists who are known to Jackson's Lane originally, who come to us through different companies that we've worked and collaborated with. The whole thing with Transmission is to give artists a chance to really experiment, spend up to 2 weeks in the space, play, use the space in whatever way they want to. And the important thing is there's no pressure for them to actually produce everything they perform. If they say they've only got 5 minutes of material at the end of it, that's fine. If they've got 5 hours, that's okay as well. But it's about kind of taking them out of their comfort zone and giving them a chance to experiment. The thing that interested me about Strike was that I met Keziah at Arts Depot, another venue in London, and she was kind of stuck in this kind of small darkened room upstairs waiting for people to speak to her, and there weren't many people speaking to her. And I went over and she had this kind of model box, and it had 2 giant retro mobile phones in the 1980s kind of bookending it. I thought that was interesting. That doesn't look like normal kind of circus work.
Did you see the visual? It's a visual cue. You've got Thomas turning on his lights.
Yeah. Because she's a theatre director, she's interested in fusing theatre and circus. So although there's aerial work and amazing structures and there's trick cycling, there's actually a really strong narrative, and she's also playing with objects. I think the way she's manipulated the space and using very simple found objects and boxes is quite inspiring.
Had complete freedom to do whatever we want, without the pressures of having to make a show at the end of it over the last 10 days. Strike started off with the idea of trying to find a context in which circus could happen, so trying to merge it in a theatrical context actually, to try and see how the physicality could emerge from that. The first idea was I went to France to work with designer Sati, and we were talking about trying to find a context for the circus. So we worked on the design and trying to equip the performers with a whole set of tools. So we brought in cardboard boxes, cardboard tubes, loads of things for them to play around with. It literally felt like Christmas every day this week. And then create structures that can resemble everyday furniture, so a table and a couple of chairs, and then that can fly up and become aerial furniture for the circus performers to try and cradle on, even doing straps up on it, and yeah. I only worked with one of them. They've actually hadn't worked together either really. Thomas James I worked with, he's actually an actor, but he's done a bit of circus. The others was a find. I ran a workshop at the Roundhouse in January where I casted a few performers, and then it was just meeting them, seeing them perform, and then I invited 5 of them on board, and we've just had a play for last week. I was invited to Circus Now, which is a kind of event to promote emerging talents in circus, and that's where I met Adrian, and we had a chat, and then we met again, and that's when Adrian invited me over as part